They've been down 13 in the middle of that first quarter. What flipped the switch for this group and really got you guys going in the second quarter?
I think our defense got a lot better, especially in transition. And honestly, like they just made some threes on us, and we just kind of pushed through that part of the game. And I thought minus the first 6 minutes, we were really, really good. I don't know what they scored out. I think I had 21 at that point when we called timeout, and then after that, I thought we played pretty good defense. So I'm proud of us. Nobody panicked. We kind of just settled into the game, but we definitely need to get off to a better start.
Kelsey, this offense almost seems frantic at times watching it from a distance, but you all seem to find the focus when the shots start to go. How does that dynamic work? That it's like it's just a level 12, but you all
Yeah.
maintain it.
I think it's a matter of our chemistry. We've really taken time as teammates to really get to know each other on and off the court, and I think it serves to what you see now. And I think even though it might look a different way to you, we've already established what our chemistry is and how we want to play. And I think for us, we got an unbelievable chemistry now to where it's unspoken, and so you get to see it. Even if you don't understand it, trust me, we get it. We understand.
Caitlin, you seem to be having a very fun time at the end of that game. Can you describe kind of your feelings that obviously great shooting, great assists, the numbers, and just the exhilaration, the joy, whatever you were feeling?
Yeah. Honestly, like I felt like it was like just a smooth game for us. Like I just felt like we were flowing well out there. Like it just felt like pretty basketball. Like and sometimes I think as a basketball player, like you can just feel it. I thought that's what we've had. Like I said, minus the first 6 minutes, I thought we played really well. And this was a big one for us. It almost counts towards two when you're in the playoff race of like a loss and a win. So we knew it was a big one, but also like we wanted to win the season series with them. That was kind of a focus point. And the last time we were here, we were up 15 in the fourth quarter and kind of fumbled it away. So I thought it was another opportunity for us to come in here and show what we're about. And I thought we were really good. And honestly, like I just had a lot of fun playing. Like I thought we played with a lot of joy. We played at up tempo. We shared the ball well. I thought Temi was really good, especially defensively when she came in too. And that was fun for me to see.
Caitlin, you mentioned the playoffs. This moves you guys up to sixth. How important is that, especially knowing the stretch that you have coming up? I think you only have 3 games against.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can't really look at a team's record at this point in the year. I think you're seeing teams play really well. Like I think I just heard the Wings beat the Lynx the other night. The Sparks beat the Liberty. Like it doesn't really matter a team's record at this point. Everybody's fighting for something and fighting for a playoff berth, fighting for seeding or positioning. So it doesn't really matter. You better come into every single game with the mentality of to win. And I think our group has done a really good job of taking it one game at a time. And it's honestly impressive how we started the season and now sitting at sixth place with 8 games remaining, 9 games remaining, whatever it is. But you have to continue to execute down the stretch. And lucky for us, we have quite a few of those at home, and we've been playing really well at home. So using that to our advantage will be important as well.
Yeah, and when you guys, like you said, you started the season, you have faith you would get to this point, maybe after you guys play together and you have break.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly did. I think I remember saying early in the season, like, I know there's going to be a moment where we look back on this in the season, later in the season, and be like, this 1-8 start is like going to help us somewhere down the line. And I think this is now that moment. Did it stink? Absolutely. Like it was not fun. You know, I was frustrated, or everybody was frustrated. Fans were probably frustrated, but at the same time, like we have a young group, we're trying to learn, we're trying to figure out, and it's a tough transition, coming from college and then trying to come in here and lead a professional basketball team and be their point guard. So I'm just really thankful for my teammates that like just stuck with me and, have helped make the transition easy and learning one another. And I think once we've really figured it out, it's been a lot of fun for everybody on this team.
Kelsey, this is the first time you guys have been 500 since started 2-2 in 2022. Just for you, what does it mean to kind of be part of this rebuild and kind of see it these past couple of years?
Kind of give yourself some grace about where I started as a player and where the FIBA organization was and where it is now. You got to appreciate the evolution of the game, the players that came in it, people like C Squared, even like this group, that draft class that came out. They've taken really good leaps at making teams better, and I think C Squared has done that for us. And I think now it's about focused on taking it to the next step, and I look forward to that journey. So,
sorry. To go off that, if the message against Connecticut was that you guys weren't going to be bullied, weren't going to be pushed around, what was the message tonight? I mean, just to come in here by 20 points the way you did.
Obviously keep the main thing the main thing. We knew that Chicago had a lot of like up and down as far as their roster and who was playing and who wasn't. And I think for us it was about keeping the main thing, and stay focused on that. And this game was about rebounding. We all kind of like said it, and I think we had that focus, especially with players like Angel. And so get them off the glass and then run. And so I think that focus kind of maintained throughout the course of the 40 minutes today.
It seems in this stretch, any combination of five you all have out there, you get five scores. What's just the confidence you have in everybody right now? Put them in the hand, the points are going to be there.
Yeah, I think we're just tough to guard, especially especially when we just play in transition. Like we're just playing pretty basketball, playing fluid basketball. We're playing off one another. We're just reading each other. And that's not something the other team can like scout for. Like, you don't know what we're going to do. We don't know what we're going to do. It just happens. It's just basketball. And like, that's the best way to play basketball. Like, be a basketball player, make reads, play off your teammates, set them up for success. And I think we do a really good job of finding each other in positions where we know they can be successful. I'm pretty sure we had a high assist number on high made field goals tonight. And I think that just shows, we're making the next pass to get our teammates a good shot and taking the right shots.
The other night you were talking about how much Kelsey has helped you get sort of you guys a veteran presence, but specifically on the court, how do you think she's helped you the most on the floor?
Off the floor?
On the floor.
On the floor?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's pretty similar on and off the floor. Like, she's just been a voice that's been there. She's been through this league for what, 7 years now. Like, she knows what to expect. She knows how things are going to go. And I think more than anything, like, we are just starting to understand each other much better. Like, we could just make eye contact and she knows to go back door. She knows to come and get the ball. Like, that just comes with playing with one another. So it's been a lot of fun for me. I mean, she's playing so well right now, just as good as anybody in this league. So I feel very lucky and fortunate to have her by my side.
How confident is the team right now?
Coming in hot. Wow. Opening the door. I mean, I feel like we're confident, but that's any team in this league when you're able to stack some wins. Like, that's everything, right? And I think coming out of the break, we start with 2 big wins at home versus Phoenix and Seattle. And then we go on the road and we drop one. But then we knew Atlanta was a huge game for us. And I thought we played really well there. So I'm just proud of our group. I think we're really just approaching it day by day, even though these games are so important. We're not really looking that far down the stretch of what's at the end of September, what's in the middle of September. It's what's in front of us today and just approaching it like that. And that's how you build your confidence. It's just one day at a time. But I think our confidence is, at an all-time high where it's been this all season.
Going back to the offense, you guys have had the best offensive rating in the league since mid-June.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something that you guys envisioned was possible? Or, I mean, during that losing streak at the beginning of the season, maybe not, but I mean, just to reach that height, to be able to say, you guys are the hottest offense right now.
Yeah, for sure. I think that people fail to realize that basketball is something that takes time. You don't just come in and you get it right off the bat. I don't know what people expect. I'm not going to hop in their brain and figure out what they expect, but this stuff takes time. And I think that to see good basketball and see it manifest into what you see now, it took time. And, you got to give yourself some grace. That's why I always tell our team, give yourself some flowers right now because we could have been a lot worse. And to see where we are now, I think the sky's the limit for us. And I think our offense and what you see and our fierce competitiveness, it's just kind of in our DNA. And we want it to kind of stay like that. We want to do the right thing the right time, all the time, not just sometimes, but we want to do it right all the time. And that's what you're seeing.
Last one, man.
Yeah, toward the end of the fourth, you had a rare 3-point miss. Since. I mean, is that you pointing up to the scoreboard?
I think it was a fan. I was just having fun with the fan. Nothing to do with Camilla. I love Camilla. Camilla's awesome. But yeah, I mean, I just launched one for fun. It was kind of a bomb. It was a good air ball. Had to get a good air ball in there.
You guys pray for me.
2 turnovers for Caitlin. She had 3. And her shooting and everything else that she was doing. How pleased are you with how her game is progressing?
Yeah, I mean, she did an excellent job taking care of the ball. She did an excellent job late in the game when if we didn't have the advantage in transition, she was pulling the ball out. That's just the growth. That's things we weren't doing earlier, and now she's recognizing those things. She's making some play calls. We try to get her to understand what our advantages will be with certain play calls for certain teams, and so she made some of those calls during the game, and which is great calls. Ended up with buckets a lot of times. Our team ended up with only 11 turnovers tonight, and that is huge for us, but it was only for 5 points off those turnovers. So a huge stat for us.
Christie, what's got this team just loose? There is talked about joy Wednesday night after that win. We see it in pregame. We're just seeing it here in the postgame. It just seems to be all throughout this group right now.
Yeah. That was kind of my pregame speech. You got this young team and they are just, I mean, they like to have a good time and there's a fine line and there's a balance. And I just wasn't sure if their head was ready tonight. So we had a good talk right before the game. They're so talented. And I think the more we just keep it as light as possible, but focused on what we have to do each night to get to be successful, as long as they stay light and they keep buying into what we're doing, it's just made for a fun environment. The joy is out there in the game. It's after the game. It's on the bench. I don't know if you guys see our bench. It's incredible. It's incredible. That's what shoot around is like. But winning makes everything really, really, really fun.
How pleased are you with this team's ability to, not let up and, you guys have built that big lead and were able to kind of keep the Sky at bay. How is that a sign of a mature team, maybe too?
Well, before that, we got down 13. So down 13, and then to come back and go up 27 for us, and then if we could just correct a few things, like Chicago started out hot, they hit 3 threes, got out in transition on us. And then we adjusted, we changed some schemes up a little bit, made it harder for them to get those shots. And then we just kind of settled in and locked in. And then our transition just really got us.
So this is third quarter stretch after maybe Gun Felcher will mean to you guys and stabilizing in that moment.
Yeah, I just went right after the game. She was solid. I mean, she battled Angel. She had some great baskets. She had some great defensive possessions. Fars got some huge rebounds. She's just a solid player. I mean, once we kind of got ahead, I thought, let's, make sure that we have our legs for Dallas. Same with Kelsey.
Now that the record's even, was there ever a part of you when you were, 1-8, 2-8 that was like, just get to 500? And what does it feel like now to be there?
Man, I back in 1-8, I don't even know what I was thinking. But I had faith in these guys. The talent is there, the character of these people, it's there. They never gave in. They kept fighting. They kept getting better. And I just keep telling them their hard work is paying off. You fall to the level of your preparation and your work, and they just keep doing that every night.
How did this group get so comfortable offensively at running at such a frantic pace? What looks frantic from a casual observation?
We just have talked from the beginning, like if you get out and run the wings wide, right, and you get to the corners, sometimes people want to stop on the wings, but when you get to the corners, you bring the whole defense down to that level. So it just opens up your floor. So that's, one thing that we weren't doing early. We're doing that now. And with that, when Caitlin's getting drags in the middle of the floor, with that kind of spacing with Kelsey on one side, Lexi and how she's shooting the basketball on the other, Dee Dee's been able to stretch it for us. We just got options, and it's just, you have to figure out how you want to guard us.
How do you keep this going? Obviously, it's going great for you guys right now, but Dallas just beat Minnesota.
Yeah.
What do you do as a coach to keep this going?
We just keep talking about the next one. What is the next one? The next one is Dallas at Dallas, and they got us right before the break in a game that we should have won. So we'll go back and we'll show them clips of that. We're just keeping it that. I mean, it feels good to be sitting at 500 right now. It's been a really long time since the Fevers sat at 500. So just really proud of that and where we are from where we started. But I never had any doubts that this is where we could be.
You talked a lot at the beginning of the season about telling them to, keep showing up. How much of this is just a culmination of having that mindset, having like positivity even when you were struggling at the beginning?
Yeah, I think it's everything. I mean, it could have gone sideways real quick at 1-8, real quick. And I keep saying it over and over, the character of people that we have in that locker room, they weren't going to let that happen. And they just, frustrated, yes. Needed some confidence, yes. And we just kept working on that and building on that. And, and that's kind of why I think we are where we are today. Just kept showing up, kept getting better, kept showing them where they were getting better. The wins weren't in the column early, but then we were getting wins on the court and off the court as well.
Down by 13 points, 5 minutes into this game, and then you eventually win by 20. What did you see from your players, whether it was talking amongst themselves in the huddles, all the reviews that maybe gave you that, certain confidence that they were going to get this?
Yeah, I think in moments like this before, we would panic. We just would kind of lose our composure and our poise. and it would kind of snowball on us. And then we would finally get it figured out. But by that time, it was, too late. I think we're doing a much better job of getting it figured out early. We always talk about stopping the bleeding. You got to find a way to stop the bleeding. And I think we're doing that. And just so many people are stepping up. Temi and Dantas are really, really huge for us. Lexi as well. Erica Wheeler comes in and lets Caitlin get off the ball a little bit. She can give Kelsey a blow. Just some good minutes for these bench players.
Caitlin's hyping up the crowd and pointing at and doing all that. Does that give you energy as a coach at all? What does that do for the team when she's doing that, even on the road?
Yeah. I mean, Caitlin Clark just gives you energy, right? Just who she is, regardless. I mean, she keeps it light, but she knows when to turn it on. She's a competitor, just a fierce competitor. It's like just trickling off to our other players. But yeah, you're talking about talk, like they're just doing a lot more talking than we were earlier. Like that communication piece is huge. If you're not talking, you're not playing defense. I think that's improved our defense. And also just them giving confidence in each other when they're talking on the bench and on the floor. You see it more. It's just a great sight to see that and to hear them. You hear them now.